Howdy ye. Today I'm going to go over some class procedures. They're a lot like regular school, even though we're online. They should apply everywhere, even at a job. Be on time. Nothing can. You're going to miss stuff if you're not on time. It's rude to other people if you have to interrupt to catch up. Be polite. Polite is a lot. This is theater class. We're going to try a lot of things. Hopefully you take a lot of chances. So be respectful. In theater, we tend to push ourselves to a point where we fail. It's kind of like building muscle. And then we go back and we learn from those mistakes. So don't laugh at people who are making mistakes. Hopefully you'll be brave enough to try stuff and make several. Please don't waste anybody's time. We're only here for a limited amount of time. Don't waste yours. Don't waste mine. Don't waste the other students. Be prepared to participate. We're going to try all sorts of stuff. You want to get up and try it. Theater involves a lot of group work. Even if you see one person on stage, there's still a lot of people who made that happen. And once again, when you try stuff, you may goof it up. That's okay. This is why we're here to learn. It is okay to fail at trying things. That's how you learn. Failing class is not okay. A lot of people fail my class. They fail it because they don't turn in the work, or they just give up, and then they make excuses. I guarantee you show up, you try, you will pass. At the beginning of class, please log on to Teams for attendance. All attendance for the district is being taken on Teams, and it actually keeps a timestamp. It lets us know how long you've been on, when you log on, if you're tardy, when you log off, if you're ditching class, if you're logging on and off. If you are not on long enough, you can lose credit. You may even have a passing grade in the class, but if you're not in the class long enough, you got to have that time or you're not going to get the credit. Once you have logged on, you got to go to mrcooksclass.com. That is my class website. That is where all the assignments will be, all these videos will be, and that's where you'll always be able to find it. If you enter late, you are responsible for notifying me. And I won't mark you here until you tell me. Yes, I mentioned there is a timestamp. So if you're making it up, I'm going to see the timestamp. But an example, if you show up at 9:15 and you kind of hide in the back, hoping I don't notice, like I'm going to notice because all I'm going to see is icons, and you tell me at 9:30, in the grade book, I will write that you showed up at 9:30. If you were in there hiding for 15 minutes, great job hiding. I saw you at 9:30, you're in class at 9:30. Everything in my class will be on mrcooksclass.com. Everything. You'll find the current assignments. You'll find past assignments. You can find your grades. You'll find the submission links to upload stuff. And you'll find information from the class and other stuff in the class. So when you show up and if you say, what are we doing today? I say, it's on the website. Mister, I wasn't here yesterday. What did we do? It's on the website. Am I missing any assignments? It's on the website. What are we doing tomorrow? It's on the website. Where do I find the makeup work? It's on the website. Everything is on the website. Another issue that you got to be aware of is we're corresponding a lot, particularly by email and voicemail. Anytime you correspond with me, send me an email or a message, make sure it includes the following. Your name. I don't know everybody. If you don't put your name on it, I can't give you credit for it or I can't respond back to you. Your class period. I have about 200 students. I do not know every class you're in. I don't even know your names yet. But even when I know your name, I tend to mix up which classes people are in. If you don't tell me your class period, that means you're saying, Mr. Cook, I don't respect your time. I expect you to go through all the attendance until you can find out what class I'm in. And I am not going to do that. If I can't match you to a class period, I'll just throw it in the trash. I'm not going to waste my time on it because you didn't follow the procedures. When you save a file and upload it to me, give it a name that makes sense. Because if it gets shifted around, or if we're downloading to print them, or even if you're on your computer looking for it later, and you don't have a name you can recognize, you'll never find it or never know what it is. I am amazed at how many people send me a document in Word, and I download them, and when I look at all the file names, file 1 is document 1, file 2 is document 1, file 3 is document 1, file 4 is document 1, because none of you decide to name them. So as a format, you should always start your file with your name or your initials, then put your period number, and then something that's descriptive that kind of gives us an idea what's in the file. You should always do this anytime you're dealing with other people and sharing a file. An example, if I set a file up with an interview video, I may save the file as JC if I'm in second period 2, interview video.mp4, so I know what it is. That makes a little more sense than document 1. When you send me an email, do me a favor again, make sure it includes your name and the class period you're in. Please put that in the subject line. Here's a hint. If you really want to be effective and you want people to notice your email, put in the subject line, again, something that makes sense. Like, I have a question about Tuesday's assignment, John, second period. That tells me a lot. I already kind of know what I'm going to find when I get in there, instead of a blank. And here's kind of the deal, and this works in real life. If I don't know who work came from or what it is, I will not waste time on it. I will throw it in the trash. You're wasting your time. You're really wasting mine. This is in life. If you fill out a loan, like if you want to buy a car and you want to get a car loan, if you don't fill that form out properly, if you don't put your name, if you don't put contact numbers, the loan officer is going to go like, thoop, throw it away. You will never hear from it again. Paperwork, believe it or not, is kind of important, particularly in theater if you want to go in technical fields. If you do not fill things out correctly, nobody's going to waste their time hunting you down. Really, you're not that important. It is much easier to throw it in the trash, and when you realize nothing's happened, you're going to show up angry, and we're going to say, sorry, we don't have it. So do it right the first time. Now with virtual school, there's a lot of courtesies you should pay attention to. It's kind of a brave new world, but it's a lot like what we should do in regular time. When you're not talking, keep your microphone off. We don't need to hear the music you're playing. I don't mind you listening to the music. Everybody doesn't hear your conversation or you yelling at your mom or your little brother or your little sisters and stuff like that. Just keep the microphone off when you're not talking. When you talk to somebody, you should have both the microphone and the video on. It is really annoying to see icons. It is really annoying if you've ever talked to anybody and they don't look you in the face. They just kind of ignore you. Oh yeah, hey, how's it going? How you doing today? That's considered rude, and it's considered a really bad trait. It usually makes you be perceived as a liar or somebody hiding something. So when you talk to me or somebody, turn the video on. It helps me get to know you. We learn a lot from facial expressions. Most of the communication is not vocal. It's our gestures or expressions and what we see. So be polite and turn on the video when you talk to somebody. If you have questions, put them in chat and wait. I'm jumping around through a lot of things. I may not see it immediately. If you put it in and a minute goes by, that's okay. If you put it in and it seems to be taking a really long time, go ahead and shout out. I don't mind you shouting out and asking a question. It's kind of like in class. You raise your hand. It may take me a minute to notice it, and then I'll get over there and we can chat all we want. So give me a little bit of time to respond. Don't like click, 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 post, Mr. Cook. Give it me a second to see if I spot it. Now here's another thing to consider. You are still in school. This is school. This is official school. This is the records for school. This counts for UIL. This counts for your college application. This counts for your high school degree. It counts for lots of things that they may ask you about. So all the rules of school still apply here, even if you're sitting at home. Attendance is still important. I mentioned before, if you do not have proper attendance, even if you have a passing grade, you may not get credit for the course. That's why they're monitoring. Your behavior, like school, you don't want to be disruptive. You can still get written up for stuff. It's really easy. If you do something offensive, I can take a screenshot and you can still get written up. So, and your grades are important just like in school. You have to post and order them. So the way you act in school, we expect you to act like that here. You know, you're learning how to be a fairly decent human and learn some ideas. It's where you're kind of figuring out who you are, what you're going to be. And what you do is essentially what you become. If you practice hiding and not participating, You're going to spend most of your life hiding and not participating. Ultimately, think of it this way. You're responsible for yourself. If you're missing an assignment, you need to find that out. If you are tardy or late, you need to let it know. If you have a problem with an assignment, something you don't understand, you need to find it out. You need to ask questions. If you ever study biographies of intelligent people or very smart people, Albert Einstein, Napoleon, great generals, Leonardo da Vinci, they ask all sorts of questions. Some of their friends even get annoyed because they always ask questions. Hang around with me enough, I'm going to ask questions. I'm not that smart of a guy, but I do know a lot of things because I'm not afraid to ask questions about all sorts of things. So ultimately, I'm here because I love teaching. I made a living doing this for 20 years professionally, so I didn't take a college class and I'm not reading a book to you. I really dig this stuff. So I don't want to babysit. I'm here to teach. I would really, really hope you are here to learn, or at least give it a try. If you don't want to learn, at least try to be friendly. I'm pretty damn interesting. So enjoy the video. Think about what I said.